So how do you deep clean a wall? Let's talk about it. So the first step, and one of the most important steps to wall cleaning, is thoroughly dusting. So whether it is a post-construction setting where you're going to have a ton of fine dust all over the wall, or it just hasn't been dusted in a while, you need to dust it before you start washing it. Otherwise, you're going to create a big mess on the wall. So that is the first step. Two of the favorite ways that we like to clean things here is, depending on the dust level, taking a Swiffer pad like this and just attaching a microfiber cloth to it. That'll help you clean the whole wall and make sure everything is completely dust free. The other thing is, if it's a bigger mess, you'll get yourself a backpack vacuum with one of these attachments here. Make sure the bristles are nice and soft so they don't scratch any of the paint. And then you can just go ahead and vacuum the entire wall and make sure you get all of that off. Now that you have eliminated all the dust on those lovely walls, it's time to fine tune. Now you can see all the imperfections, all sorts of scuff marks, anything like that. You can start eliminating with a sponge like this or a magic eraser, making sure that you get everything off before you start washing the walls. So as far as the washing methods goes, there's two ways that we like to do it, depending on the level of dirt that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with nicotine or something like that, you might want to go with this approach. Taking one of these mop heads right here, and then you can make sure you dip it in the mop bucket, thoroughly wring it out so it's damp. You don't want to oversaturate the walls, but then you can use this to clean the entire thing top to bottom. And of course, the other approach is taking microfiber cloths like this with a bucket of warm water and this soap and making sure, again, it's not overly saturated, but you can take this, either do it by hand or plop it back onto this one and use this to wash the entire wall. This is a great method because the moment the microfiber cloth gets dirty, you can just exchange it for a new one. That way you can make sure you're eliminating the dirt and you're not smearing it all over the wall. So the big question is, what type of cleaning chemicals should you use on walls? That depends on what type of wall finish you got. Depends what kind of paint they're using. And it also depends on what kind of job you're dealing with. So if you're dealing with something like nicotine, again, that's always a bad one, or anything that had a lot of bacteria, let's say, and you really need to eliminate and disinfect the odors and stuff, we like to use Odor. This is the product that we use for that. It really cleans the walls nicely, it disinfects and eliminates nasty odors. So that's always a great option. And of course, the other one, if we're dealing with jobs that are not crazy, we like to go with the classic Dawn dish soap, just putting this in warm water and using that to clean the walls. So what are some things that you should be careful about? So you never want to use steam to clean the wall. It goes without saying, but that heat will damage the paint finish. Another thing is using something that is too abrasive. So if you're using a sponge that has a abrasive backing to it and you're going to scratch at stuff and make sure you want to clean it, you're going to damage the whole thing, and then you're going to have a bigger problem, not just dirt, you're going to damage somebody's freshly painted walls. So make sure to stay away from those two things. There you have it. Not a whole bunch to it, but that is how you properly deep clean walls.